I was out with my girlfriends, sitting at our usual brunch spot on a Saturday morning. The air buzzed with chatter and the kind of laughter that grows louder as the mimosas begin to loosen both thoughts and tongues. As always, our talk eventually drifted toward relationships. One of my friends joked about how Daniel, my husband, always seemed so quiet and serious. Without thinking, I smirked and blurted, "Well, at least the guy I dated before him could make me laugh, and he definitely knew what he was doing in bed." The table erupted. Everyone burst into laughter, and I joined in, not realizing how cruel my words truly were. What I didn't know was that Daniel had just walked into the cafe. He had come to surprise me, holding a bouquet of sunflowers and wearing that gentle smile he saved only for me. But the moment he heard my voice, that smile disappeared. My careless words cut deep, tearing through the 7 years of trust we had built together. I didn't notice him at first. It was the sudden silence at the table that made me turn. There he stood, his eyes locked on mine, wounded and cold. He said nothing, just set the flowers down on the empty chair beside me and walked out. I froze. My laughter died instantly, replaced with a heavy, sickening guilt that twisted my stomach. I scrambled to my feet, calling after him, but he didn't stop. He didn't even look back. I could only stand there on the sidewalk, helpless, watching him vanish down the street. I couldn't believe one thoughtless joke had the power to shatter everything we had. That night, he never came home. His phone went straight to voicemail, and I lay awake, replaying every second of that awful moment. I tried to convince myself it wasn't that bad, that he would forgive me. But deep down, I knew the truth. I had humiliated the man I loved in front of others, reducing our intimacy to a cruel punchline while comparing him to another man. The next morning, I found a note on the kitchen counter. At some point in the night, he had come home, packed a bag, and left. The note was short, but every word pierced me. "I thought I meant more to you. Maybe I was wrong. Don't call me." My hands shook as I read it. My knees buckled, and I collapsed onto the cold kitchen floor, crushed by the weight of what I'd done. 4 days, I tried everything: texts, emails, voicemails. I even showed up at his office, but his assistant told me he was on extended leave. Friends spoke carefully, avoiding sides, though I could hear the sympathy in their voices leaning toward him. I didn't blame them. After all, I had turned the one man who never mocked me into the butt of my joke. Memories tormented me. The night he proposed, his hands trembling with nerves. The tiny apartment we once lived in that felt like a palace because it was ours. The way he would cup my face and press a kiss to my forehead after a long day. His quiet presence that always made me feel safe, cherished, loved. 2 weeks slipped by, then 3. No word from him. In desperation, I started therapy, trying to understand why I would risk something so precious for a cheap laugh. My therapist called it self-sabotage, a fear of vulnerability hiding behind humor. The explanation made sense, but it didn't bring him back. One afternoon, I bumped into his brother at the grocery store. My voice shook as I begged him to tell Daniel I was sorry, that I was working on myself, that I wanted another chance. He nodded, but I didn't expect anything. That night, my phone lit up with a message from Daniel. Just 3 words: "I heard you." I cried for hours, not because it was a promise, but because it meant he was still out there, still listening, even if from afar. Weeks stretched into months. He never returned, but the anger I had seen in his eyes that day slowly blurred in my memory, replaced by regret. I learned to live alone, to confront my flaws, to stop hiding behind sarcasm. Still, he lingered in my thoughts. Whenever I walked past that cafe, whenever a song played that he used to hum, whenever I saw sunflowers. I know I destroyed something rare, something beautiful. A single careless sentence cost me the love of my life. If I could turn back time, I would guard my words like fragile glass, holding them gently so none would slip and break the life we built. But life doesn't grant rewinds, only lessons carved into the heart.